Look, I want to address this comment. I was going through my comments, right? And what did I tell y'all? It's always somebody with two first names that always got something to say. Charles Thomas. Let's read what Charles Thomas got to say in Donald Trump's United States of America. Charles Thomas says, look, I was talking about a guy said you a trick if you pay all the bills and your woman don't work, right? This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Now, Charles Thomas said in Donald Trump's United States of America, Charles Thomas says, we got abused in daycare when my parents took us to daycare. This was way early in the 80s. You know, see, today you got cameras and all that other stuff. But, look, I'm going to say this, I don't care. When my wife was taking child development, you know, you got to go put hours in at a daycare. And one of the workers snapped because she got tired of dealing with bad little Billy, and she popped little Billy. Let me show you what happened. It was an older lady, so she was from the older generation. So the lady snapped, got tired of little Billy cutting up. She popped him on the arm and said, don't do that. Well, the mother worked at that daycare, you know, because if you work at this daycare and you bring your child, you get a discount. So the mother worked at that daycare, and when the mother heard what happened, the mother went off, cussed everybody out, took the child out of daycare, and quit her job. Now you got to go home and explain to your husband that you quit your job because you was helping them pay the bills. So you made a decision based on emotions. So now you have to go find your child another daycare provider, and then you have to go fill out some job applications. You see how stressful that is? That's stressful, Charles Thomas. And like you said, Charles Thomas, y'all, what he said? He said they got abused. I don't know what kind of abuse, but they was abused. Now, do you think you would have been abused in the love and care of your mother? You'd have got disciplined. You'd have got your behind would have got a whooping, but you wouldn't have gotten abused. See, I told y'all before, I say it again. No, look, listen. If we can reverse to when I was 2, 3, 4, and 5, nobody loved me as much as my mother. Okay? Nobody will love a child more than that child's mother. Let's continue on a little bit more on what Charles Thomas said in Donald Trump's United States of America. Charles Thomas also says, I had a married woman take me out while her husband a truck driver on the road. She says he pays all the bills while she keep her check as a teacher. She said while he on the road playing, she at home playing. When he gets back home, then they can play husband and wife. Now, what you got to say about that, Gibson? I said it before and I'll say it again. A man knows what type of woman he's laying beside every night. See, she know her husband out there playing. How does she know her husband out there playing as the truck driver on the road? How does she know? She know the man she got, and he know the woman he got. And see, most guys don't want to be honest with themselves. If your woman can't manage money, say, man, look, my woman can't manage money, so I'm going to have to manage the money. If your woman is prone to flirting with men, yeah, listen, y'all, this my YouTube channel not for kids, so you need to go and get them out the room. If your woman is prone with flirting with men and you work out of town, somebody is probably sending her through the mattress. I'm going to say it again. If you know your woman is prone to flirting with men, okay, then that means it's a small chance somebody could send her through the mattress. You know, when you're gone all the time, you know, it still get a little damp, even when you're not there. But anyway, let's move on. And see, Charles Thomas, this says a lot about you, Charles Thomas. You're willing to fondle with a married woman. That's a recipe for death. A married woman. He proud about that. Yeah, I'm with him. And she's proud about it. See, Charles Thomas, you just exposed yourself. You just exposed yourself to the type of woman that you attract. You attract a lying, cheating woman. Well, you attract an honest whore. Sounds like she was honest enough to say, "Hey, I'm married. I mess around. He mess around, and I mess around with you." That's the kind of woman you attract, Charles Thomas. So I can understand if you get married, Charles Thomas. I don't know. These women ain't right. That's what you attract. Let's continue on with Mr. Thomas has to say. In another video I made, I was saying how should a young man go out there and sow his royal oats before should he get married young? And then Charles Thomas felt the need to say, Gibson, you live in the clouds. You don't find women you can trust because women are players too. What I just told y'all, you attract what you are. See, a good man is not going to attract a bad woman. It's a man that's willing to play in the dirt. See, a man that's willing to play in the hog's pen will attract hogs. Let's continue a little bit more what Mr. Thomas has to say. He also says, I seen married women mess over their husbands while he working 2 jobs, support her and her children that she got from somebody else. We know you one of the guys that's messing around with these married women. And I'm sure Charles Thomas, you know, probably planted some seeds somewhere else that somebody else is raising. You see, one thing I learned in my little short 35 years being on this earth, Charles Thomas, listen, this is what I learned, and this is what the Bible teaches. You don't have to believe the Bible. But listen, we are living in the world that the Lord has created. And what the Lord says always come true. What a man soweth, that is what he shall reap. See, Charles Thomas, how you was sleeping with that man's wife? See, Charles Thomas, when you was sleeping with that man's wife, you went out and purchased your field. You purchased your field, Charles Thomas, all right? And then you start tilling and working the ground. Yeah, you met his wife. You planted the seed. You got a phone number. You took her out. And then you laid her down and sent her through the mattress. And then you sprinkled your seeds. This is not your first time doing this, Charles Thomas, and it won't be your last. You sprinkled your seed. I'm going to put all my seeds out here. And see, rain coming. And see, your fruit is coming. See, you buy a field, you buy a tree, you plant the tree, you water the tree. That tree will give fruit. That tree, there's never been a time in history where a tree was planted and it did not give fruit. Even if the fruit is nothing, that is still the fruit. Charles Thomas, you have a thing for married, cheating women. And one day, and see, you're so afraid to get married, Charles Thomas, because you think you're going to pick a married, cheating woman because that's what you attract. So, Charles Thomas, you mean to tell me out of all the women in the world, there's no good women to marry? That's what you're saying? There's no good women to marry out of all of the women in the world. There's not a good woman to marry. So what do you recommend we do, Charles Thomas? Sleep with truck drivers' wives while they're out on the road? You see, I guarantee you any kind of money, his decisions he's been making his whole life is keeping him up at night. And see, he done slid over here to Gibson's Lawn Service channel. And he really trying to convince himself, but he's using my platform to do it, that he is wrong and he can't sleep at night. Charles Thomas, I'm going to let you stay. I ain't going to delete your comments, but I want you to understand something. On Gibson's Lawn Service channel, I am always right. I will never lose an argument on Gibson's Lawn Service channel. I am always right. And if I am wrong, I'm going to delete your comment and block your page. I'm going to make sure I'm right in Donald Trump's United States of America.